Hey, it's Yapeh Malka, and I'm back with another vlog. I feel like Mr. Rogers with this sweater because I always put it on. But I used to love Mr. Rogers growing up. It was very good and it was wholesome, and you learned something. So subscribe, like, follow, whatever it's supposed to do on this platform so that you be notified. Okay, so today I want to vlog about well, this week, I suppose, I was just thinking about people. As a person, if you, what they say, if you become successful, then people are align themselves with you, or they want to be around you, or in your presence. And it's not necessarily because they themselves want what's best for you or happy for you. Sometimes it could be because they want to be a part in whatever way, even if that way is taking you down. I was thinking about that because of the story of Joseph, and it was Potiphar's wife who seen Joseph as successful, said he was handsome in appearance and his form, and she wanted to sleep with him. Now, she was the one who made the commitment to her husband, but, this is the culture that we have now, because it's a lot of times you'll see men say, oh, you don't know how many married women I slept with. And people have this thought, but not everybody succumbs to that. And I that's what I want to say. Not everybody succumbs to the pressures of the world, or what the world would say is acceptable or common. That's why it's like these certain sayings like uncommon and the one percenters or the elite. It's because though these are the people who do not bow down and or can be counted in this part that is not, what the majority would do. So anyway, so she was trying to sleep with him, but he wouldn't do it. He's like, no, and that's what landed him in jail. He's in jail because he didn't sleep with the married woman, not because he did what was wrong, but because he did what was right. And I was just thinking about that because a lot of times in life, you get subject to people. A lot of times, like, I'm single. So, sometimes men want to try to talk to me or whatever, but they have this idea of what's acceptable because of their experience or what they know other women to do. And I don't particularly care to defend myself or over express myself in certain manners to make you unthink whatever you think. You can think whatever you think. That's because it's not my job to change your thoughts. How can I change your thoughts? Like, that's what you think. That doesn't make it a reality just because you think it is. And I try to say I'm not a loose woman. I'm not giving over. People say, oh, well, I seen something, a video, and a guy was saying, well, most women will do this and will do that. And I said, most women doesn't mean all women. And that's the part. And you just have to understand that. Just like it could be most men or most people, but that doesn't mean everybody. And there's no such thing as 100% in anything ever. It's never 100%. I mean, you might get it on your paper because you studied. However, in life, there's never, it can be the majority, but it won't be 100%. You're not going to get everybody to agree. Just consider, can everybody really agree on one thing? Just think about it. So, that's why I was at this week, because there's a group of people that don't succumb to the commonality of what the world accepts as acceptable, and don't feel some kind of way because you don't do what everybody expects or everybody is used to doing. I happen to be one that's not giving over to this type of sexual perversion. I don't have to sleep with somebody. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's, if it's not my person, then it's not my person, and it's fine. I don't care. Well, it's not that I don't care, but I'm not going to overindulge in that thing for the sake of. So I was thinking about that. It's something else within the scripture. It was Daniel when he was in Babylon, which was exile, and he had the favor of the king, and the people of the land, the noblemen or whatever they want to call themselves, didn't like him. They wanted to find a way to accuse him, to remove him from his position, but they couldn't find, like, he wasn't one who took a bribe or anything like that. So they couldn't find anything to accuse him for, to get him out of his position. So they decided to accuse him in a way of his God, because they knew that he would pray. He would pray to God at 9, 12, and 3. So they sought to accuse him in that manner by, sly talking the king. It's the scripture that says, woe to those who put unjust laws in place. And that's what they did. They encouraged the king to put laws in place that would be contrary to what they knew Daniel would do. And Daniel was faithful with his prayer, and that's how they was able to throw him into the lion's den. But we all know what happened behind that. And a lot of times, I just want to say this last thing. A lot of times it's a miscommunication. My niece shared something on Facebook, and it was a guy was like, oh, so you telling me that I'm going to be beaten by the devil in hell, or tormented by the devil in hell, for not obeying the same God that he didn't obey? He's like, somebody lying. And I said, it's a scripture that says people perish for their lack of knowledge, because it doesn't say that the devil will torment them. It says that he's going to be there with them in the torment. So it's just a slight of word of the miscommunication that will cause you to think something other than the truth. And even so, back to my original thought is that it's okay. I personally feel like it's okay if people think the wrong thing of you, because what does that really have to do with you? You can't control a person's thoughts. And far be it from me to even try to control a person's thoughts. You're going to think whatever you think regardless, because we can't even barely control our thoughts. We have to kick it out of our mind when we think it. You can't stop your mind from thinking it. Like, people, it's the saying, they say, oh, just live rent free in my head, because all of a sudden, you break it out singing something or saying something that you don't even want to say or think, but it's there. So how could you control what somebody else think, especially of you? And most of the time, thoughts are thoughts and not necessarily expressions. So how can you know? How can you know? How will you know? Nobody's going to know. So I just want to encourage you today to continue to be who you are. Join in with Yapeh. I'm being who I am. I'm fighting against the thoughts that I can't be who I am, or I have to confine because everybody is doing it, when there's no such thing as everybody doing one thing or the other. It just is what it is. So, okay, that's my mid-rush for today. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe. I'm Yapeh. Have a great day.